Shalom Alaikum.
Shalom.
Kama Kapash. Okay, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kodash. The both honors unto the elders, the apostles, GMS, and honors to the brethren out there on the highways by teaching truth and all sincerity. Okay, another lesson. We got, I'm going to entitle it the boundary or the circle or something to that effect. Basically going into, when you come into this truth, right? You come in from the outside, right? And there's like if you can imagine like an invisible space, basically, that the Most High is taking you out of the realm of being destroyed with the rest of this world and into the small sanctuary, which is good to speak about, which is like it's like a boundary, it's like a hedge, a defense from the destruction, man. Okay, because you can only be in two categories in this place, right? You could be those that have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the truth, or you could be without it. Okay, and those without that knowledge, wisdom, understanding are in the path of destruction. Okay, so when you get brought into this truth, man, you're put into like this, in the circle of truth, so to speak. Okay, where you're protected by the Heavenly Father. Okay. Now, when you start going away from the truth, the knowledge that has been given unto us, man, as the scripture say, many are called and few are chosen. Okay, a lot of people come into this circle initially. So we've all been separated from the world. Actually, brother, you can give me that now. Actually, John 15 and 19.
You can. This is John 15 and 19. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you.
Right, so many, like I said, many are called and few are chosen, right? So we've been called out of this world that we live in today under the rulership of Esau, okay, to the knowledge of this truth. Now, once you've done that, like I said, you enjoy the benefits of being called, okay? So so even in this like separate space away from everything else, man, away from the world, you're going to go through trouble, like trials and tribulations, like the scripture tells you, man. So you're going to go through things, okay, but ultimately it's not to your destruction, okay? It's a trial, it's a test, okay, to prove yourself worthy of being in that circle, okay, or being within that boundary of protection, man. Okay, now like I said, if you go away from those things, the ways of the Lord, this truth, this knowledge, okay, that's when you start getting forced out of the circle, man. Okay, and you don't have no protection no more. Okay, which only leaves you out here with the rest of the world to be destroyed. Okay, you're being left out to hang and dry, basically. Okay, whereas before, you was under the protection of the Lord. Okay, so we're just gonna go into some scriptures and that just to show and kind of demonstrate that you gotta stick with the correct, true doctrine of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, to remain protected, man, to remain exempt from the judgment that's coming. Okay, because when you start straying from the path, man, you're no longer under the protection of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Okay, you're straight in the path of destruction, man. Okay, so it's important to stick to the doctrine that we all learnt, okay, from our elders and our apostles, of GMS. Okay, I'll add to that. Okay, who are worthy of double honor. Okay. Because a picture like this, right? You got, I'm gonna sort of paint a picture in your mind. You got this earth, right? And the earth is a big place. Okay, but on the earth you got a little circle spot on it, right? And that's the sanctuary of the Lord right there. Okay, this truth, it represents the truth, the small area on the earth which has the truth. Okay, yeah, we all scattered around, but us being one body, we say it's a collective, right? Okay. Now in this sanctuary, right, it's like a village, like a village, right? And in the village you got hierarchies, you got the elders, you got men going on down the chain, you got the the youngsters in the thing and that kind of stuff. They're all learning from the men that are above them. Okay. Now if you upset anybody now, you upset the elders, for instance, right? They're the men that are running that sanctuary. They're the ones in charge of that little space right there of the truth. Now you some upstarts, man, want to start talking shit and trying to tell elder men that have been set up to run that village, you know, respectable people, okay, that have been set up in society because they know better, the wiser men, you know, more experienced men. Now, that causes division in the thing, in that little sanctuary right there, okay, which we can't have that, man.
Yeah, that's boundaries within boundaries.
You know, I'm just talking, you know, just if it was a
But
village, if
generally,
it was just a village,
yeah,
you know, we're in this village of people who have this knowledge, wisdom, understanding, and you know, you want to upset shit. You know, you want to come with some different doctrine, or you don't agree this man should be in charge, and that is not your place to be deciding those things. Okay, there's a you know, a way to go about things, right? Now, like I said, where you go back into ancient times in the scriptures, where it will tell you about casting people out and stuff like that if they're not, you know, going according to the law, statutes, and commandments and stuff like that. It's the exact same thing. You get cast out, and you're no longer part of this.
For the destruction of the flesh.
Yeah, and you're no longer a part of this thing no more. Okay, don't expect the Lord to have sympathy for you when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, you don't have that protection no more. You don't have the protection of the sanctuary, man, of the village, of the elders, of the brothers. You've upset the brothers. You've upset the elders. Okay, because you're going against something that we all know to be true. Okay, so it works on that level, man. So that's just the picture I was painting anyway. But we're gonna grab some scriptures.
I've got a precept.
Go on, yep.
2 precepts for you. The first one is Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. So basically, a strong tower being a sanctuary,
yep.
And basically it separates you from your enemies. Okay, people outside of that sanctuary. So
yeah, and those outsiders can't come in. That's why we don't par with other Israelite camps. You know, that don't hold the same doctrine, man, because that's a vile thing in our so-called community. Okay, within our thing, within this truth. Okay, they can't come in and, you know, hey, they're not of us, man. Okay, they might be Israelites, but they're not of us. They're not, you know, the special people that the Lord sort of separated. Okay, because that's what a boundary is. A boundary is it's the separation, an invisible. Well, it says here, an invisible boundary, basically, that separates one thing from another. Okay, it's one of the definitions. Okay, we've been separated out from the world. There's no physical thing to say that yeah, that's us, but it's all spiritual, man.
Can't.
You know, he can't be seen, but we're all spiritually akin, alike in this truth, man. Okay, if you're not spiritually akin to this truth, man, then you're not of us, man, and you get cast out, and you don't belong with us, man. But then don't think the Lord is somehow dealing with you, man.
Yeah.
You've left the congregation the Lord has set up, and you're going to start your own thing. That ain't gonna work, man. The Lord ain't dealing with that.
I've got 1 Peter 4:12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. That's the brothers being within the circle, which is to try you, like the brother was saying earlier, the experiences you have on being inside of that circle. Yeah, you got a hedge about you to protect you from certain things that might happen to you, all right? But it's not to say the Lord can't remove that hedge and let things happen to you if you're not doing the right things. So you basically got to stay under yourself.
Well, this is why I said that, you know, earlier, man. Like that scripture, many are called, few are chosen, man. You can be brought into the circle. Okay, us brothers have been brought into the circle, but whether or not you stay in that circle depends on, well, only depends on Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But on a worldly level, or on an earthly level, let's put it that way, it depends on you. If you can be disciplined, man. Okay, you can be, you know, respectful to the truth, the doctrine. Okay, and do all those things that the Yahweh Shai required you to do, be brotherly and all that kind of stuff, rather than trying to scheme and scam brothers and stuff like that. You know, they're not traits that is a part of this truth. Okay, they're things don't belong in this circle, man. Okay, go on, you see what you're saying?
Yeah, it says, beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial. So like when you come into this thing, you know, the scripture tells you the truth is sweet in your mouth but bitter in your belly, because after a while you start going through the experiences and the hardships whilst being in this truth. Examples are, you know, your family might despise you, you know, you might lose your job, so many different things. Okay,
yeah, but the comforting thing is that we're all going through the same thing.
That's right.
Okay, that's the comforting thing, man. You're not alone in this suffering. Yes, you feel like, you know, you're a bit isolated and you're going through, I mean, everyone's going through his own trials. But us brothers are suffering as a collective for Yahweh Shai. Okay, so you are, you know, that's supposed to be strengthening. Okay, that you're all trying your best to remain strong in this truth, man.
Basically, yeah, like
okay, not to give up.
Like you said earlier, bro. Really, those trials are to build you up as a man, and also a man of a soldier in Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And like you said earlier, what you quoted, basically you're being tried to see if you're also worthy of the brotherhood, worthy of the ministry, worthy of the of salvation. So basically you're being tried, man, for full circle to see if you're worthy of that boundary. Otherwise you get kicked out of that boundary.
Yeah, and that's what happens. Other people get weak and leave, or they get kicked out because they're rebellious.
Matthew.
Okay, and we can't respect the order of things. Okay, but just remember, man, when you was brought in by the elders. Okay, going back to the village analogy that I was using, you come into that space, okay, under the guise of the elders, under elder brothers, and and you was accepted, man. But for you to be rebellious, that's rebellion, basically, which is what's that? Rebellion is the sin of witchcraft, man, according to the scriptures. Okay, it means you ain't right. Okay, you got accepted in a space where you didn't belong before, you wasn't a part of it, to trying to fuck up shit for everybody, because that's what effectively you're doing, bringing in some new thing, okay, that doesn't belong in the scriptures. That's why you got to be cast out. Okay, just like wicked people of our nation will be cast out for going against the law, statutes, and commandments, man. It's something to protect the flock, so to speak, the nation. Okay, and really the Lord is dealing with it. The Lord is dealing with His elect. Okay, which is the nation right now. 2/3 of you Negroes, man, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, you want to be part of the nation in the kingdom. Okay, but not on this side.
This is Matthew 13:20. But he that received the seed into stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receiveth it. Yet hath he not root in himself. So it boils down to you, basically. Hath he not root in himself, but dureth for a while. So he was in the circle. For when tribulation and persecution ariseth because of the word, by and by he is offended. He, so basically he ends up going out of the circle. He also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of this world, and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word. So a guy that's not labouring, and he becometh unfruitful. He was in the circle, and guess what? He went out. But he that received the seed into the good ground is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, which also beareth fruit and bringeth fruit, some 100-fold, some 60, and some 30. A guy that's going to stay in this circle.
All right, so it all boils down to whether or not the Lord has chosen you to endure it. Okay, to stay amongst that sanctuary. Okay, because that's a safe haven. You're gonna maintain the truth of the scriptures. Okay, all the correct doctrine. Okay, you got to do all the things that is commanded of you in the scriptures, man. Okay, and that's going to keep you in that safe space. That's going to keep you under the protection of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Because without that, there is no protection. Okay, this place is going to be destroyed, man. There ain't no way you're going to receive no protection from anywhere. Esau can't do that. The only way you could be protected is if you stay true within this thing, man. Okay, rather than being misled and deceived by Satan.
Appreciate it.
Well, I need to give me something first.
That's a lucky.
Give me Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4.
Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. Okay,
so that mark that is being placed in the scriptures is a spiritual mark, man, which is what separates us. Again, that boundary is not something that's physical, it's something spiritual between us and everybody else. Okay, the Most High is setting a mark to separate those from the judgment. Okay, and you can only receive that mark if you're in that sanctuary, man. You only if you uphold all the things of the scriptures as you was taught. Because no one taught, none of us taught ourselves, man. All our, us young men that come in this thing, none of us taught ourselves, man. We was all taught by our elders, our apostles of Great Millstone, man. Okay, so none of us had that position to dictate, how we should move as a collective. Okay, because the Spirit is dealing with those men. Okay, and the Spirit trickles down from those men. Okay, and we receive the Spirit in that fashion. Okay, yeah, the Lord deals with us with certain aspects of this thing and gives us certain understanding without having to be told. Okay, but it still, it still comes under the branches,
hierarchy,
so to speak, of the elders and apostles' teaching, because they've been given the truth. Okay, we've all watched YouTube videos, we've educated ourselves, man. Okay, in this word, okay, through them, and that's how the Spirit was dealing with us, basically. Okay, but yeah, continue on up.
It says, sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And of the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
Okay, so there is no pity, no mercy for those, because this is in Jerusalem. Okay, this is amongst our people. Okay, those are the ones that are staying true to this word, crying and sighing out there, okay, about the abominations of the earth and all that kind of stuff. Okay, they're going to be protected. Okay, when the time comes, man. But the rest of our people, they're not going to be protected. Okay, the Lord's going to send angels for them, man. All kind of manner of spirits and evil upon them to destroy them. Okay?
Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any. Yeah, so basically that shows you there's no sympathy for those people, man. Because it went on to say your worstest fears, as people would look at it in this world. It says both maids and little children and women, They're like the women, the children.
So the Lord's not, he's not discriminatory, man. He don't care. At the end of the day, a woman has no preeminence above nothing, man. Okay, you don't get no special treatment. Children don't get no special treatment. Judgment comes. Okay, it's here to fulfill judgment, man. Okay, you're not gonna. Most is not emotional, as in to sway his judgment. That's not. That's how we are. That's how we should be. Okay, we're not meant to let emotions sway our judgment. That's wicked.
God.
Okay, you have to deal with what it is you're dealing with without the bias of emotions and affiliation and all that kind of stuff. There, it's got to be judged accordingly, man. Okay, go on, finish that.
Yeah, even in the spirit of judging righteous judgment, there's examples where if you're supposed to be a judge and you judge unrighteously, the Lord will judge you, man.
Well, the argument is always, but what if that was your son? All that kind of stuff. But regardless if it's your son or whatever, and he's condemned to death or whatever it is, you got to do that. Because you not doing that is just going to create a greater wickedness, man, a greater evil. Okay, and the Lord will judge everybody that don't do nothing about that. And the nation ends up suffering, and there's been examples of that in the scriptures.
And women both, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house.
Okay, so as a nation, the Lord is going to judge us, man. But those who had the mark, they're exempt. Okay, they have the protection of the Lord, man. They're separated from the rest of the nation. Okay, going back to what we read in John, the world that we're speaking about is the Israelite world. We're being separated from that world. Okay, to not share that same judgment. Okay. You got a preset you want to bring a minute ago?
Yeah, is that it on how?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Let me see what I had. Yeah, it was just 1 Peter 4 and 12. I think we moved on from it, but basically 1 Peter 4 and 12. Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing hath happened unto you. Alright, but rejoice insomuch as ye are partakers of Yahushua's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. So basically being in this truth, you're going to have fiery trials, experiences that are going to be, you know, they're going to maybe bring you low a bit, you know, going through those difficult situations and experiences. It'll make you feel like you're the only person going through it. But like the brother said, man, we're all in the same boat, man. We're all in the same situation, man, waiting for our Lord to return, man. And when he returns and receives his glory, then we'll be, you know, raised up with him, all right? But right now, we're in a time of mourning. That's why the scripture says, better to enter the house of mourning than the house of feasting. Because those that feast now, they're going to be mourning. And those that are mourning are going to be feasting when the Lord returns.
Yeah. Grab me Revelation chapter 18 and verse 4.
This is Revelation chapter 18 verse 4. It says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues."
Okay, so when that happens, man, that's when the angels are going to come and basically sift the nation of Israel, man, and bring, and, you know, save them on the chariots. Okay, you're going to hear all that happening. Okay, but only that group that in within that circle, okay, is what's going to be saved. Man that are left in that circle. Okay, anybody outside that circle, man, isn't going to be saved, man. You know, that's why we call ourselves the hopeful elect. Because anybody that's teaching this truth now is in the running, basically. Is in the running for being saved. It's all about enduring. It's all about staying in there. Okay, we know we got the truth, man. We just need to hold on to it, man, and not deviate from the scriptures. Okay, you got plenty of people that do that. Okay, and believing that the Lord's dealing with them. Okay, but they're unspiritual. They're men that they're not spiritual, man. Basically, and they can't see that what they're doing is going off.
They say to the swift.
Okay, it's all about staying in the circle. Okay, because the chariots, man, they know they're gonna come to that spot. Boom, that's that selection done. Like I said, we're scattered around the whole earth, but effectively, what I'm saying is that those that remain are the ones that are going to be saved, man, and not anybody else claiming to serve the Lord and all that kind of stuff. Scripture tells you, man, not all that call Lord or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, shall we say, you know, roughly paraphrasing. You know, he's going to say, "I never knew you." Okay, so you're going to be left out there to be destroyed with everybody else, man. Okay, so, you know, it's important to stick on the straight and narrow, man. Okay. Ephesians chapter 6 verse 10.
Another precept for you.
You got a precept?
Afterwards.
Okay, fine.
Ephesians 6 and 10. It says, "Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil."
Okay, this armor is this truth. Okay, having an understanding of this truth, right? Go on.
"For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day."
Okay, so that whole armor is the 100%, not parts of the scriptures that you agree with or, you know, whatever, but the 100% truth, the knowledge. That's why we say we have 100% truth. We don't teach nothing that's not in the scriptures. Anything we don't teach that don't have no explanation, let's put it that way, we don't teach, because therefore it's not relevant for us, man. You're gonna ask us, "Oh, things going up in the heavens," man. We don't know about that. So don't ask. You know, we all know what's contained in the scriptures, and then what we teach out of the scriptures is the truth. Okay, you're gonna get the understanding from our teachings, man. Okay, go on up.
"Against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand."
Okay, so that armor is like a resistor, so you have to resist. Okay, like I said, you're being tried all the time, man. Even within the sanctuary, the circle, man, you're being tried all the time. Okay, Satan's trying to draw you out.
Yep.
Okay, some man are teetering on the edge of the border or the boundary, and Satan's like, "Oh, just grab him, just and takes you out of the game, man." Okay, but you thought you were still in the game. You know, those men that are, you know, on the outskirts of the boundaries, man, you're at risk. And that's what, and you know, that's why the orders go out by the elders apostles, man, to keep men from falling off. Do your work, do your videos. Okay, be brotherly. Don't be some fucking part-time Israelite, or you know, ain't trying to link up with no brothers and do nothing for nobody, and you know, scheming and doing all kind of worldly shit that you shouldn't be doing, man. You guys that are in this thing, currently in this thing, you're teetering on the edge, man. Okay, and all that's happening, all we're trying to do is give you wisdom, basically wisdom, so you can, you know, so you maybe take heed, and Satan doesn't get your ass, man. Okay, and drags you out. That is simply all it is, man. People get upset, but you know, that maybe just shows you, man, you're not in the right spirit, man. Okay, maybe you're not a part of this thing. Okay, you need to, you know, be less emotional, man, and be a bit more wiser. Okay, go on.
Quick precept. Matthew 12 and was that it on that? Or
no, down to 18.
Okay,
but yeah,
I just got two quick precepts just to back you up on that. Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. All right, that's them spirits waiting for you, man. Like that. When you come, before you was in the truth, you had demons on you, and then the Lord will take those demons off you. Right?
That's when you've been brought in a circle. You've got that protection now.
Right.
You're not going to be fucking with the demons that are taking you out into the world, kind of thing. You know, you got a bit more of a sober spirit on you.
Hey, showing you that the world hated the Lord because they had demons on them.
Yeah.
All right, the Lord, but they called the Lord a demon. But those people were in the world; they had demons.
That's right.
On them, man. All right. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. So he's really just Satan's looking to grab you, like the brother was saying earlier. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Then goeth he, and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there.
So you become worse than the guy you was before you came in, man. You went back out, you know, you come into this thing, you got kicked out or left or whatever, went back out into the world, and now you're worse than the guy you was before you came in, man. That's the Lord taking that protection off you, man. He's allowing you those demons to come and jump on your ass and to destroy you. Because that's what's going to happen. You're becoming worse and worse. Okay, which will only lead to destruction, man. Okay?
And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect opportunity to segue into Job, when Job had the hedge. Just looking for it really quick.
So as long as we stay in this truth, man, we're protected, man. Yes, we're gonna go through shit, you know, trying times and all that kind of stuff, man. But we're protected, man. The Lord's not trying to set us up for failure. You know, if you're of the Lord's elect, man, you can't be set up for failure, man. You're also gonna be tested and you be strengthened. Okay, there is going to be no fail. There's not going to be, the elect can't fail. Okay, the elect can't be deceived. You know, the elect are going to be the guys, man. They're going to be the guys the Lord wants. Okay, one way or another, man. Okay, you know, as you know, lowly and meek or shitty as some of us men may have been or have been or are being. Okay, the elect are set up to win, to win this, man. So they're going to remain in the circle, man. Okay, they're going to have that continuous protection around them.
Yeah, this is Job 1 and 1. There was a man in the land of Uz, whose name was Job. And that man was perfect and upright, and one that feared God and eschewed evil, in the circle. Okay, so then we jump down to verse 9. Like the brother was saying, Satan's waiting to, you know, send a couple of demons to get you, man. All right, to test you whether you have faith, and you will maintain that faith. All right, to condition you. So this is Job 1 and 9. And this is an account of what happened to Job, a perfect man, as the scripture said. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Hast not thou made an hedge about him? So before Job was perfect, he he didn't have a hedge, but the hedge is about him because he's eschewing evil about him and his house, and about all that he has on every side. Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. So even the Lord put a hedge around him, even protected his children for a time.
Everything around a righteous man is blessed. You know? So that, yeah, like I said, the protection extends, man. Okay, go.
Thou hast blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. Just like King Solomon, you know, he was increased in years, and also, you know, he was blessed, man, because of his wisdom. All right, but then afterwards, that hedge was taken from him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, just to throw that another example out there. So
Yeah.
it continues to say.
Is there any more than that, really?
Yeah, it just says, put forth thine hand now, and touch all that he hath, and he will curse thee to thy face. And the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he hath is in thy power, only upon himself put not forth thine hand. So basically, there's a trial that the Lord will put you through, man. And if you're a man of the Lord, you'll get through that trial. But if not, then those demons are waiting at the door.
But it's like when the Most High explained to Satan, man, you know, basically, he's one of me, he's one of us, like,
Yeah.
you can't do nothing to Job. Because this is what the conversation was, basically, whether or not he could make Job go off.
Yeah, come on.
Okay, and the Most High was like, no, that ain't gonna happen. Why? Because the Most High is in control of it. You know, it's an elect man. But just, you know, to what they call it, just entertain's not the word. Just to amuse Satan or whatever, he allowed him to try.
Mm-hmm.
You know, knowing that he weren't gonna, you know, Satan was gonna come out short, because he's an elect man of God. Okay, so you know the hedge came down, Satan got to him, you know, Most High sent him through the trials and that, only for Job to succeed. And the Lord blessed him even greater. You know, but grab me 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8, because that's basically what he was saying, in it. Kept quoting it.
Oh, do you want the feet? Go back to Ephesians. Finish that off.
Grab this first, then we go back to Ephesians afterwards. Since we 1 Peter 5 and 8.
This is the book of 1 Peter 5 and 8. It says, "Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil is a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour."
All right, so basically the equivalent of what's going on, but you know, from these members or ex-members of GMS basically falling out or getting kicked out or whatever, is the equivalent of this, right? We got Yahushua, we got Peter and the apostles and stuff like that. Okay, that is where the doctrine was coming from. Okay, Yahushua left the scene, and the apostles carried on in his stead. Okay, they were going about teaching, and you got guys now coming into the fold. This is what the equivalent is, and them disagreeing. Just because Yahushua is no longer there doesn't mean you get to say whether or not that doctrine is true or not when you just come in. You've not been set up to do that. You was not set up to kickstart this thing. Okay, so when Satan is coming around you now, and he's convincing you that, oh, the elders are going off, or I don't believe in, I don't think that's what the scripture's saying. Well, that is Satan tugging at you, man. That is Satan tugging on your fucking shoulder, trying to get you to drop out, to believe in something else other than what you was taught. That is the equivalent. I know you don't see any of us brothers or any of the elders as the same great men that you read in the scriptures as Peter, John, Luke, and any of these guys. I know you don't look at us like that. Okay, because none of us know who we are, who we were, or whatever. So we can't even claim none of that sort of stuff anyway. But it is the equivalent of that. Okay, and the elders apostles are those men set up to do that. Okay, now you want to offshoot, do your own thing, man. That is you going off. Okay, that's you going off. I don't care how you want to slice it, how your explanations are, whatever. I don't care what it is, because it doesn't excuse you. Okay, it's you going off from the path that was set before you. Okay, and like I said, you've been taken out of the circle. Okay, you've been put outside into the world with the rest of these guys that don't know shit. It doesn't matter that you know the scriptures partially. Okay, that is not enough. We talked about the 100% truth. That's what's going to keep you in the circle.
Can't. And it's not the words that you know, like, partially, and it's not even down to the guys that, you know, memorize a whole bunch of scriptures. It's really a spiritual thing, man. All right. It's not about how many scriptures you can memorize, and it's also not about, you know, scriptures talk about knowing the little that you know, holding the little that you know, but you gotta grow as well.
What does the scripture say? What you have, hold fast till I come.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is you got, whatever capacity you have in this truth, hold it.
Better
hold it with your dear life, man. You know, because it'll get you saved eventually if you can just hold on to it, man. If you can hold on to this truth, man, as much or as little that you have, hold on to it, man. It can save you, man. Okay, rather than trying to go above and beyond the means of what you're set up to do. Okay, no one has to be a mega prophet, man. It's not required of to be mega prophets. All we got to do is know this truth, man. Firstly, for yourself. Okay, and then you know, be apt to teach, man. Whatever your capacity is to teach. You know, every brother's different on a level to be able to teach things and convey things. But we know we ain't got to worry about whether or not they understand us or not, because this is only for the elect anyway. So we don't have to be no supreme teachers and, you know, eloquent men and all this kind of stuff to get through to the elect, because the Lord's got it set up that they're going to hear anyway. We don't give a fuck about these people that, oh yeah, they're swearing and this, that, or whatever they're talking about, or you don't elaborate. You know, elaborate's not the word I want to use, but you know, you don't break it down nicely for me or whatever, man, because it's not for them. It's not for them. So why is it we're gonna care? You know, you don't need to be delivered like that. You know, whatever spirit's on you, you know, deal with that. You know, sometimes you might have to tone, you know, certain things down. Okay, but you know, don't go above and beyond what you've been set up to do, man. You know, I speak for myself because, you know, even though we've been in this truth for a while now, we're still young men. Okay, we're still, you know, still young in this truth. Okay, and we still, you know, seek guidance of the elders, apostles, and stuff like that. You know, so that's just what it is. Okay. What was it? We was in Ezekiel, weren't we?
Yeah, you still want more on Ephesians?
Was it Ephesians we was in?
What, just a second ago?
Nah, what was reading before you segue?
Okay, yeah, that was Ephesians.
Okay, back in Ephesians, we finished it off, and I'll grab second rock afterwards.
Yeah, so this is Ephesians chapter 6, verse 13. Wherefore take unto you the whole armour of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith. Above all, taking the shield of faith. Okay, so it said above all, man. That faith is an important aspect of this truth, man. Having faith in the doctrine you've been taught is one of those things. Okay, when you start wavering, that should automatically tell you, man, that you're wavering. Okay, you're becoming weak to what you've been taught, because you wouldn't have received this any other way. So if you ain't got faith in what you've been taught, then you got to be considering that Satan is niggling at you, man, trying to take you out the game. Okay, continue up. I was just looking at the word shield. It's just literally talking about a physical shield.
Yeah, it's for protection, man. Okay.
Okay, continuing on, it says, above all, taking the shield of faith. So it's a spiritual thing, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
That's right. Do 18 as well. Praying
always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit. And that's exactly what Job did. He continued to pray. I can't remember exactly what he said, but you can just read the chapter, man. And watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Okay, so yeah, you got to take this whole thing on, man. Okay, and not be given to change, not waver in what you've been taught. Okay, because doing so is gonna, exile you out the sanctuary, out the circle, man, and you ain't gonna have that protection from the Lord no more. Okay, you're gonna be destroyed. Okay, that's the only safe space in this whole entire earth. That's why it doesn't matter how much money you got, how many fucking bunkers you got, and prepping how much you could. The only safe space in this whole entire earth is in the scriptures. Is with the Lord. Okay, and we don't need no building or nothing to protect us, man. We got the Lord, man. The missiles ain't gonna touch us in that day, because the Lord gonna beam us up in chariots, Lord willing, if you enjoy unto the end. So we ain't gotta worry about none of that. People asking you about, oh, yeah, but if World War III happens, that means you're gonna be killed as well. No, I'm not worried about that. I mean, if it's so be, Lord, God forbid, I fall off, man. I want to stay on, obviously, But if that time comes to go in the scriptures, man, there's gonna be chariots. Okay, that is our way out. That's our salvation. Okay, for the elect men. Okay, they're gonna be beamed up, and they're gonna miss the missiles, man. Okay, while you're out there flabbergasted, looking at it, oh shit, the scripture tells you. You're gonna be confounded. Okay.
I've got a preset for you.
Go on.
Alright, this is examples and signs of how not to be when you're in this circle. These are signs of how to identify people who not to be like, man. This is Sirach 5:5. It says, Set thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. So guys, like we read in Matthew the 13th chapter, guys that are the things of this world, their mind's set to it, and they think, yeah, I got my house, I got my woman, got my job. Those are the guys that you can expect to waver, holding on. That's not to say a guy that has all those things can't hold the shield of faith, but then often as it is, you'll have an example of those things can corrupt a man's heart in this truth. Also, verse 2, it says, Follow not thine own mind and thy strength to walk in the ways of thy heart. So basically, going off, man, doing your own thing and not obeying, instruction according to the way you've been taught. All right, and walking in the ways of your own heart and not according to the truth. Going
after those carnal lusts, man.
Yeah.
Because this body wars with a spirit, man. It's always a war with this carnal flesh, and might be persuaded to go after the lust of the flesh, man. Okay, after your own man, your own feelings and stuff, man. Okay, it happens.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
That's right.
Desperately wicked, and so forth. All right. Verse 3, and say not, who shall control me for my works, basically being disobedient, for the Lord will surely revenge thy pride. Alright, going out of order. Verse 4, say not, I have sinned, and what harm have happened unto me, for the Lord is long suffering, he will not in no wise let thee go. A guy that starts to get bright, thinking, yeah, I'm on my own, no one's seeing me doing what I'm doing. Next thing you know, the bus hit you.
Well, that's what I mean. They think the Lord is dealing with them, and they think they're protected, man. But as you say, these demons that come upon you after you come out of this thing, man, because you've been protected all this time. Like, now you're weak and you go outside, and the Lord's sending all these demons, and you become worse. Okay, we've seen it happening so many times. And you're changing all kinds of things now with the doctrine, or you're just not even interested in the doctrine no more, and you're trying to do your own shit. You become worse. Okay, but you think, oh, there's mercy somewhere. No, there's no mercy, man.
Yeah, that's why that's like the brother said, man. The apostles are there basically to prevent, and put you in order, man, so that you keep you from falling off, man.
Well, that's what the elders are set up for. In the village, the elders are there to look over the village, man. Look over everybody, to make the decisions for the village, for the people. Okay, to look after them. Okay, it's not nothing. Like, the elders are not abusing their power, man.
Not at all.
Some of you believe that, they're abusing their powers, man. No, they're not asking nothing that's unreasonable of us, man. And all it is